Imagine a bustling Wall Street in 1920, a symbol of economic prowess in the heart of the financial world. Now picture a moment that shook the very foundations of this iconic street, an event so explosive it reverberated through history. Today, we delve into the gripping tale of the Wall Street bombing of 1920, an untold story of chaos, mystery, and the resilience of a nation. Get ready to uncover the secrets that echo through time as we journey back to that fateful day, the day Wall Street would never forget. Amidst the burgeoning lunchtime activity of mid-September 1920, an unassuming man guided a cart drawn by an aged horse through the lively streets of Wall Street. Bringing the horse to a halt in front of the USA office, just opposite the imposing J.P. Morgan building, he swiftly disembarked. As the nondescript man melted into the bustling throng of Wall Street, the cart remained unattended, a mysterious presence amidst the chaos of the lunchtime rush. The horse stood patiently tethered to the cart, loaded with crates and barrels, its breath visible in the crisp September air. Unbeknownst to the hurried pedestrians passing by, the cart concealed a curious cargo. The nondescript driver, now a mere shadow in the crowd, seemed to have executed his task with a calculated precision that left no room for suspicion. The USA office, a bastion of financial integrity, loomed stoically across the street, unaware of the clandestine activity unfolding at its doorstep. Inside the J.P. Morgan building, financiers and brokers engaged in animated discussions, their minds consumed by the ebb and flow of stocks and bonds. Oblivious to the unattended cart outside, they remained absorbed in the financial maneuvers that defined the heartbeat of the nation's economy. In the quiet aftermath of his departure, a sense of normalcy hung in the air, disguising the impending tragedy. Suddenly, with a deafening roar, the once unnoticed cart erupted into a shower of metal fragments. The devastating explosion claimed the lives of over 30 people, leaving around 300 injured in its wake. The scene unfolded into a heart-wrenching tableau of sorrow and suffering. As the day progressed and more individuals succumbed to the unforeseen calamity, the magnitude of the tragedy unfolded against the backdrop of a lunch rush that had transformed into a somber reminder of the fragility of life. Today we bring you a chilling tale from the pages of history, a tale that most people do not know about, the forgotten tragedy that unfolded on September 16, 1920. In the aftermath of the explosion, the responsibility for the act of terror remained elusive. Initially, it wasn't apparent that the blast was a deliberate act of terrorism. Overnight cleanup crews worked diligently to restore order, inadvertently erasing physical evidence crucial for identifying the perpetrator in today's investigative standards. Despite the chaotic aftermath, Wall Street, with broken windows shrouded in canvas and bandaged workers, resolutely resumed its operations the following morning. Amidst a sea of conspiracy theories, law enforcement agencies including the New York Police and Fire Department, the Bureau of Investigation, and the U.S. Secret Service mobilized to solve the puzzle. Each agency pursued leads with fervor, but progress was slow. The Bureau conducted extensive interviews with hundreds of individuals present before, during, and after the attack, yet gleaned little valuable information. Recollections of the driver and wagon proved vague and unhelpful. The New York Police Department managed to reconstruct the bomb and its fuse mechanism, but debates ensued regarding the explosive's nature. All potential components were readily available, adding to the complexity of the investigation. Despite the challenges, the collective determination of these law enforcement entities persisted, fueled by the urgency to unravel the mystery surrounding the Wall Street explosion. Let's set the stage for the events of the Wall Street bombing of 1920. It's important to understand the historical context that framed this tragic event. The bombing occurred in the aftermath of World War I, a period characterized by a wave of social and political changes across the globe. The war had just ended, and the world was grappling with the consequences and aftermath of one of the deadliest conflicts in history. In the United States, the post-war era saw a dramatic shift in society. The country was experiencing a rapid industrial and economic expansion, with the 1920s often referred to as the Roaring Twenties. It was a time of economic prosperity, cultural advancements, and a general sense of optimism for the future. Amidst this backdrop, Wall Street emerged as the epicenter of American finance. Located in the heart of New York City, a financial district, Wall Street was more than just a physical location. It symbolized power, wealth, and the pinnacle of American capitalism. It housed the country's most influential banks, brokerage firms, and financial institutions, making it the beating heart of the nation's economy. The significance of Wall Street went beyond its economic importance. It represented a certain American idea, the belief in the power of free markets, entrepreneurial spirit, and the pursuit of wealth. The street itself became a symbol of prosperity and the embodiment of the American dream. As the news of the bombing spread, fear and uncertainty gripped the nation. The attack on the financial heart of America sent shockwaves throughout the country, raising questions about security, stability, and the vulnerability of even the most iconic symbols of prosperity. The most promising leads surfaced before the explosion, initiated by a diligent letter carrier who discovered 4 crudely spelled and printed flyers in the vicinity. These flyers bore the ominous signature of a group identifying itself as the American Anarchist Fighters, demanding the release of political prisoners. Upon further investigation, it was revealed that these letters bore a striking resemblance to those employed in 2 bombing campaigns orchestrated by Italian anarchists the previous year. The Bureau recognized the potential significance, undertook an exhaustive effort to trace the printing of these flyers up and down the East Coast, yet the trail led to a frustrating dead end. In the initial stages of the investigation, the Bureau turned its attention to followers of the Italian anarchist Luigi Galleani, giving the historical context of bomb attacks over the preceding decades. But who was Luigi Galleani? Picture Luigi Galleani as a mysterious figure weaving through the tapestry of anarchist history with a penchant for the ominous. Born in the quaint town of Vercelli, Italy, he etched his name into the annals of rebellion by championing the eerie strategy of propaganda of the deed, a tactic that danced on the edge with political assassinations and violent attacks. Galleani's journey started in the heart of the Piedmont labor movement, but his fervor earned him an unwelcome exile to the desolate shores of Pantelleria. Undeterred, he set sail for the United States in 1901, where he dived headfirst into the melting pot of the Italian immigrant workers movement in Paterson, New Jersey. A nomad of descent, he later meandered through Vermont and Massachusetts, leaving echoes of rebellion in his wake as he unfurled the radical newspaper, Cronica Sovversiva. As the conductor of the Arcanic Symphony, Galleani wielded influence that reached far and wide, cultivating a group of devoted followers ominously dubbed the Galleanisti. Together, they orchestrated a chilling series of bombing attacks that reverberated across the vast expanse of the United States. However, conclusive evidence proved elusive, compounded by Galleani's flight from the country. Over the subsequent 3 years, once promising leads turned cold, and trails that seemed hopeful devolved into frustrating dead ends. Despite the Bureau's persistent efforts, the perpetrators of the Wall Street bombing were never identified. Even with the best evidence and analysis available since that fateful day in September 1920, the prevailing belief is that the Bureau's initial suspicion was accurate. A small group of Italian anarchists likely bore responsibility. Yet the shroud of mystery endures, leaving the true culprits behind the Wall Street explosion forever unknown. The Wall Street bombing served as a wake-up call for the nation, prompting a reassessment of security practices and the need for vigilance against acts of terrorism. It highlighted the importance of intelligence gathering, cooperation between law enforcement agencies, and the implementation of robust security measures. The legacy of the Wall Street bombing endures to this day. It serves as a stark reminder of the fragile nature of our society and the enduring struggle to maintain peace and security. The victims and survivors, their stories and the lessons learned from this tragedy continue to shape our understanding of history, inspiring efforts to prevent future acts of violence and to promote a more peaceful and secure world. It is important for us as a society to ponder why this event has often been overlooked in American history. Despite its profound impact and lasting repercussions, the Wall Street bombing remains a lesser-known chapter in the collective memory of our nation. One reason for this oversight could be the historical context in which the event took place. The Wall Street bombing occurred during a period of immense social and political upheaval, with the country grappling with a range of challenges and changes. Amidst the turmoil, this tragedy may have been overshadowed by other significant events of the time. Moreover, the subsequent decades witnessed other catastrophic incidents that captured the attention of the nation, further pushing the Wall Street bombing into obscurity. However, it is crucial to recognize the importance of remembering and learning from such tragedies. By acknowledging the past, we gain insight into the human experience, the resilience of communities, and the consequences of violence. Understanding our history in its entirety helps us to build a more comprehensive narrative and cultivates empathy, ensuring that the sacrifices and lessons of the past are not forgotten. Efforts to commemorate the victims and preserve the memory of the Wall Street bombing have emerged over time. Various individuals and organizations have worked diligently to ensure that this forgotten tragedy is not consigned to the depths of history. Memorials and commemorative events have played a vital role in honoring the victims and fostering remembrance. One such commemorative site is the Wall Street Bombing Memorial. It's located near the intersection of Wall and Broad Streets. This solemn tribute stands as a reminder of the lives lost and the resilience of the community in the face of tragedy. The memorial serves as a physical space where visitors can reflect and pay their respects, evoking a sense of connection to the past. Additionally, organizations and educational institutions have sought to raise awareness about the Wall Street bombing through exhibitions, documentaries, and scholarly research. These efforts aim to bring the tragedy back into the public conscious, encouraging a dialogue and fostering a deeper understanding of its significance. By preserving the memory of the Wall Street bombing, we ensure that the victims are not forgotten and their stories continue to resonate with future generations. The act of remembrance serves as a powerful tool in fostering empathy, promoting peace, and preventing similar acts of violence in the future. Thank you for joining us on this journey of remembrance and reflection. Together, let us ensure that the forgotten tragedies of the past are never truly forgotten. What are your thoughts on the Wall Street bombing of 1920? Did you know about this forgotten tragedy before? Let's continue the conversation and learn from each other's perspectives. And with that said, until next time. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, YouTube thinks that you'll like this one next.